Amad, he was man of the match today. The kid is absolutely brilliant. Best player on the pitch by far.
For me, Amad, technically, application, everything, is the best footballer at Manchester United.
The boy that continues making me smile. I love Amad Diallo. I just love intelligent footballers that take care of the football. And that's Amad Diallo.
I could not agree more. Guys, we have to face it. Amad Diallo is him. He is literally the guy. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this, but we actually might have Lionel Messi's regen. And I'm not just saying this all of a sudden, because if you had eyes like I did, and many United fans did, you know that Amad Diallo has been waiting for this moment to just express all of his quality, all of his skills onto that football pitch. I mean, the guy's literally been at the club since January 2021, almost 4 years. And guess how many times he's played for the club? A whopping 40 times. That is criminal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik ten Hag, you guys have blood on your hands. But now that Ruben Amorim has arrived, I honestly really believe that's going to change. I mean, we saw already in Ruben's first 3 games at the club that he absolutely adores Amad. I mean, he started in Ruben's first ever Premier League game against Ipswich Town, and in the very first minute, he assisted Rashford for the goal. And not only did he attack well, but Amad's work rate is absolutely insane. I mean, he was just bombing up and down the pitch constantly, and whenever he needed, he was helping out Mazraoui at the back. And I've got to say, for Amorim's debut match, I think that he was the most impressive player out there, and I think that the man himself agrees with me.
I think he was very good. Since these 3 days, he improved so much defensively. He was so focused on everything. I think he did a great job.
And obviously Ruben is just talking about his defensive work here, and it's probably because he didn't have enough time to talk about his attacking work, because he was absolutely sublime in that too. The 1-2s, the give and goes, everything was just great about it. And that was just the start, because it would carry on into the next game when Manchester United played against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. And despite only playing 30 minutes in this game, Amad would absolutely shine. He'd have some lovely link-up play with Rashford on the right-hand side, and would create some pretty decent chances. One of which being a ball that he played in behind into Bruno from the halfway line, and the second, well, the less said about that, the better. But in this game, having trained throughout the week with Ruben, Amad was starting to learn his role even more. And that goes for the whole Manchester United team, as we played much better. But Amad's performance particularly made Manchester United fans just like myself think how much of a criminal Erik ten Hag was for caging this man. I mean, he literally said that he was giving Anthony a chance because he had a good training session.
For Amad, he's doing well, but also we have to reward the performances of Anthony dos Santos in training. He's training very good, and he is a threat almost every training.
I mean, come on, look at the contrast in this clip. Who is training better here, Amad or Anthony? I mean, there's quite literally a night and day difference. And look, I'm not here to dunk on Anthony because he probably gets enough of that online. And honestly, just like Amad, I think that Anthony can actually do good in Ruben's system. But it's just so obvious how much better Amad is than Anthony. And I literally have no clue why Erik ten Hag never played him. I mean, maybe if he did, he would literally be in his job right now. And honestly, if you think about it, Amad technically did keep Erik ten Hag in a job, because if he didn't score that last minute winner against Liverpool in the FA Cup, Erik ten Hag would have finished 8th without a trophy, and he definitely would have been gone in the summer then, which is honestly what makes Erik ten Hag's treatment of Amad pretty weird. I mean, the fans have been crying out for ages for Amad to start playing more, and at the start of this season, especially in pre-season, he was playing quite a lot. Now, I don't know if that's because we didn't have a full squad, since most of our players were at the Euros or Copa America, but Amad was playing really well in pre-season, and he'd even take that form into the Premier League, where he started against Fulham and put in a pretty decent performance. He then played the full 90 against Brighton, and even though Manchester United lost, he played well again and scored their only goal in the game. But then unsurprisingly, he'd then be dropped for the game against Liverpool, where Manchester United lost 3-0. He then returned to the starting 11 2 weeks later and got himself an assist in the 3-0 away win against Southampton. Honestly, it just makes no sense why Erik ten Hag never trusted him, because 9 times out of 10, Amad would always repay him back with a great performance. And he demonstrated that pretty much as soon as Erik ten Hag left and Ruud van Nistelrooy gave him the opportunity. He played 81 minutes against PAOK in the Europa League and scored his first brace for Manchester United. A nice lovely headed goal for his first, and the second where he showed speed, strength and a lot of determination to win back the ball before going on to slot it in with a lovely finish. And that just segues me perfectly into the Everton game, because in that match he was simply just brilliant. I think it was the first time that he also got a brace of assists, and let's all be honest here, we're all counting that pressing he did for the second goal as pretty much his third assist, because what he did to win back that ball was just absolutely amazing. And honestly, I don't think many of our wingers in recent times have as much pace as him, can dribble the way he can, or even pass the ball as well as he does. And it's not like his pressing is just a one-off, like it happens once every blue moon. He genuinely does this every game, and that's exactly what he done for the 4th goal. And I just absolutely know that he's gonna thrive under this Ruben Amorim system. And as happy as I am to finally see him starting games, I'm honestly sad that it took this long. Now, I can forgive Ole Gunnar Solskjaer since he was the one that bought him in the first place, and in his first season he played him sporadically here and there, and even then us United fans could see the potential, especially when he scored that beautiful headed goal against AC Milan, which in the end actually helped us get through the round of 16 in the Europa League. And of course we made made it to the finals, but let's not talk about that. But during that same season, I remember fans begging Oli to play him more since he was hardly in the squad, and when he did make it, he was mainly a bench player. Now, of course, he was only 19 and he needed time to be bedded in, and it makes sense why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave him a loan the next season to Rangers. And whilst Amad got off to a really good start, scoring on his debut match against Ross County, the rest of his time there didn't go to plan, as he was on the bench for quite a lot of the games, especially in the Europa League. And even though he ended up with 3 goals in 13 appearances for Rangers, which isn't bad at all, where he really made a name for himself and became that star boy that we all know and love was when he went on a season-long loan to Sunderland. And boy, did he cook over there. That season, he played 42 games and he got himself 14 goals and 4 assists, which isn't quite bad at all, considering he was a 20-year-old, 5'8", very skinny player playing in the Championship for the first time, which is a league that's famously known for its physicality. But honestly, probably the most impressive thing that he did there was capturing the love of the fans in such a short amount of time. Now, I'm by no means an expert on Sunderland, and I still have yet to watch Sunderland till I die, but I do know they have passionate fans, so for them to adore him as much as they do, you've honestly got to have something special about you. I mean, if you don't believe me, you can literally just go back to all of his social media posts when he was playing for them. Literally every single comment is just an outpour of love for him and how much they appreciate him. So shout out to all of the Sunderland fans, and thank you for taking care of our boy. Anyways, after that extremely successful season-long loan, Manchester United fans were very excited to see him come back to the club. And by this time, Erik ten Hag was the manager, and he had just won the Carabao Cup and finished 3rd in the league. So pretty much every fan was feeling very optimistic, considering the track record that Erik ten Hag had with young players. So I think it's pretty fair to say that everyone was expecting Erik to develop Amad even further and to start easing him into the starting 11, just like he did with Garnacho in his first season. But to be fair to Erik ten Hag, and unfortunately for Amad, he did pick up an injury which kept him out until December. But even after making his first appearance against Nottingham Forest on the 30th of December, Amad wouldn't get a single look in throughout the whole month of January, and it would be during this time that Amad would be linked to a move back to Sunderland. And to no one's surprise, all of the Sunderland fans were very excited to have him back. But thankfully for us Manchester United fans, that move didn't materialise and he stayed at the club. And from everything that Ruben has said, it seems like he's finally got a manager that trusts him and knows all of his qualities.
Yes, I think he's one of the great advantages of Amad. He's very good playing in that position, but also playing between the lines, because he has a good control and he seems faster with the ball than without the ball. So it's something that he has, and he is capable of playing in both positions, and he can play in different systems. So in the future we will play in the different system maybe. So it's that kind of player that we need in the team.
And at the time of recording this, the news just broke that contract talks between Amad and Manchester United are well underway. So I think it's very clear to see that Ruben is very much in love with Amad, and Amad is very much in love with Ruben.
I think he wants to stay, and we want him to stay. So that is clear, and we will find a solution.
And I'm very confident that they will as well, because Amad honestly seems so much happier than ever, and I really can't wait to see what he does at the club. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it and check this video out too.